Hey everyone, welcome to Encounters USA. If it's aliens, UFOs, Bigfoot, or dogmen you're looking for, you came to the right place. Now listen up as we listen to some of the latest encounters. Encounters USA interrupts Dogman Month so that we can bring you this special report. UFOs over Sea-Tac Airport. Hello everybody, welcome to Encounters USA. As the announcement announced, we actually have to interrupt Dogman Month. Why? Because we have an update about UFO sightings over Sea-Tac Airport. So we brought in a special guest. We brought in Lee Strauss, and Lee has been on the show. He's actually one of our few recidivative offenders. Lee's been on the show a few times, and Encounters USA has actually been out in the field with the UFO iTeam that Lee's part of. So first of all, Lee, thanks a lot for coming on and sharing this information with us. Welcome to Encounters USA.
Well, thank you very much, Matt. It's a great forum you have here.
Yeah, well, we seem to like it, and we seem to be getting a lot of new subscribers, and people are leaving a lot of favorable comments. Some have been left not so favorable, but that's fun too. So what we want to talk about today, Lee, is we want to talk about your big news. But before we go into the big news about what's going on at Sea-Tac Airport, for those people who have not been paying attention to the podcast or who don't know who the UFO iTeam is, like you guys are like the League of Justice for the UFO and paranormal activity. So tell us a little bit about what the UFO iTeam is and does.
Well, it all started with Michael Hall. We knew Michael Hall from previous meetups that we had. Wow, that just felt great. Oh, anyway, so we met up, him and a couple other guys, and we started doing a little bit of research, going up to Mount Baker and with some cameras, night vision cameras, and started recording the night sky. And from there, we just kind of grew fast friends and had, done it every year beyond that. And it's just something we got into, and Michael decided to start the UFO iTeam out of just a couple of us friends. And here we are today. We got quite a few people on board. We've got a psychic, and we've got, another tech guy named David, who's got some pretty incredible gear. We got Carlos, who is just crazy and great eyesight he has for spotting things in the sky. And we've got a couple other real incredible people on board. So, yeah.
Oh, great. And like I said, I've actually been out in the field with you guys, and you guys are doing some really, really cutting edge work. And I don't want to say that there's like any competition, but whereas like an organization like MUFON is more passive and waits for information to come in, you guys are actually out there collecting it. So you guys are really unique, I think, in that respect.
Yeah, we do. We go out to hot spots, locations that are known for UFO activity, UPA activity, and we go out and record things. A lot of the times we don't see them right away, but we do catch them later on. We have a vast amount of field gear, probably more field gear than any other research group out there. It's crazy, and it's growing all the time. Not only do we buy the products that come out on the market, but we invent products as well. David Mason's takes the lead on on that, but it's just incredible the amount of gear that we have and the stuff that Dave is able to come up with.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen any of the UFO iTeam stuff on Encounters USA, go ahead and look at that. We have a video that we did from ECETI Ranch, and also a video that we did, and I keep wanting to say Kakalaka Lake, whatever, but from the basically western side of Mount Adams.
Mm-hmm.
And both times we saw, when we were at ECETI Ranch, we saw a lot of UFO activity. I mean, I've never seen anything like that in my life. And I could count 5 I think I was there for 4 hours just watching the sky. I think I counted 5 that I've never seen anything like that. And then when we were up at that lake on the west side of Mount Adams, I saw like that. It really looked like a necklace floating down behind the mountain. So that is real UFO activity, and you guys have it all on tape, right? Did I say tape?
Well, you could say that. We do have the data. It's all recorded. We put it up on our Facebook page and our YouTube page, and it's there for everybody to look at. So, it's one thing that we try to do is dispel the stigma. A lot of people don't believe in UFOs and that sort of thing, but that's why we record with different cameras and get that information out to the public for their viewing.
Yeah, one night out with you guys, and we depending on we saw some clouds up at Mount Baker, but one night out with you guys, and I was definitely, I was a guy who thought there was UFOs before, but having seen that stuff, I'm pretty well convinced that it's not only there, but it's there regularly, and that's what we're going to talk about today. And I just want to establish the fact that we met last summer and we saw UFOs down at the ECETI Ranch, correct?
Yes, at ECETI and Takalak, yep.
Yep, and so we saw UFOs there, and now we're doing a report just a few months later about UFO activity at the Sea-Tac airport. So it seems like maybe whoever's operating these things, maybe they seem to be wanting to come out of hiding.
That's what it seems like. I got quite a few emails today and texts after I released the footage that our contact gave us. And now I'm kind of actually worried and a little bit frightened because of what this holds, what it shows. This footage shows near an airport, international airport. It almost seems like they have come out of hiding and are giving us tidbits, and not just us as a team, but other people in the community are seeing this. I got one text from a lady today who says, well, she's seeing the same sort of thing at her airport close to her house. So, in California. So maybe they're starting to come out of hiding a little bit, like you're saying, to show the public that, there is UFOs and UAPs in restricted airspace, and they're not harming anybody. They're just there. I think that they want to be seen.
Yeah, and to reinforce that what you're saying. And I have a book that talks about extraterrestrials and whatever, and like the historical context of them. And one of the things that I included was the Disclosure Project testimony. And during that testimony, that was just before September 11th of 2001, they had a Mexican official there, and he was saying that they had so much UFO activity at their airports that it was causing a serious problem, and that they needed the military to admit it and the governments to admit it so that they could get these things cleared out of this airspace. And so this would be back in 2001. So it would appear to be they might be just like migrating north, because obviously this is a serious safety issue as well.
Well, you say it's a serious safety issue. I don't think that it is. They're much more agile and maneuverable than our planes are. Mm-hmm. I think they're there because they know it's an airspace where you can't fly drones and you can't fly anything but commercial aircraft in that area. So they're showing us that, and they're showing people that they can be in those areas and maneuver safely through the air without hitting planes, without harming anybody. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and the only reason I say that it might be a safety issue is if you listen to this guy talk, I mean, he's basically pleading, somebody help us because there's going to be an accident, and he seems to think that these things, like I think maybe they have patterns of starting off, just kind of checking things out, but the way he talked about it, it sounds like they become kind of aggressive. And they, start to, bob in and out as planes are landing, and it really is distracting pilots and et cetera. So that's Mexico, and that's like 20 years ago. So let's start to talk about what's happening at Sea-Tac. The first thing I guess we need to establish is when did these videos start coming out? And you have video and a picture, right?
Video and pictures, plural.
Pictures, yes.
Yeah. Well, about 4 months ago, this individual contacted the UFO iTeam, and I just happened to pick up her text to the group via Facebook, and I responded to her, and she sent me a photo and some video, and I was like taken back a little bit by it and passed it around to the group, and they looked at it and thought it was interesting, but nothing more than that at the time. Now, fast forward to 2 days ago when she sent me another video and took a look at it, and I saw a black craft in the sky with a silvery disc that appeared out of nowhere above the black craft and shot across the sky and then disappeared again. This is within the frame of the video, so it's not like it shot out of into the frame or out of the frame. So it appeared and disappeared within the frame.
Okay, and what about that? You say that's a black craft. Now I've got two, and I'm going to be showing these on the YouTube channel. These are going to be playing as we're talking, doing this. If you're listening to the podcast, you'll have to look at the YouTube channel to see these, or look at the stuff on their Facebook page at the UFO iTeam on Facebook or on UFOiTeam.com. So the thing that, or the pictures that you have are a series. Is this the same craft over a number of shots?
No, this is a totally separate incident.
Okay.
These individuals have been recording and seeing this stuff happening around Sea-Tac for about 7 years now. So It's been happening for a while.
All right. So in the video footage, now that is not really, that's the one where the craft is sitting there and then it takes off. That is Sea-Tac, or that's the Tukwila area?
Well, that would be the Tukwila area, the one with the black object. Okay, that's over Tukwila.
Yeah.
Still, mind you, within 5 miles. Still within 5 miles of Sea-Tac, which is still a no-fly zone for drones.
Well, not only that, but also how many? It's 2 miles, if even that, from Boeing and King County Airfield.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so it's setting right in between those two, and I'll show this on the YouTube video. I'll show this on Google Maps where this thing is sitting. All right, so let's talk a little bit about those pictures, because, as I said, these pictures really look a lot like stuff that happened down in Mexico in 1991, and it really looks like something is moving kind of in and out of the dimension, right? Is that what you did?
I would think that it's half-assed cloaking is what I would call it. I think they're doing what they're doing there just to show people that they're there, but they're not cloaked all the way. And whatever the object was, it was described as it was sitting stationary and morphing. So it was undulating and morphing as it was just sitting there, and then sometimes disappearing and reappearing in one spot. So my conclusion on that is that it was there just to not scare people, but just let them know that there was something in the air that's, unnatural.
Okay, and where exactly where now you said this is not one sighting, the series of pictures. This is more than one sighting or one?
Okay, the series of pictures is one sighting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so it's basically showing through its different phases. Where is this in relation to the airfield? Is it right over the runways?
No. They didn't tell me exactly where this happened other than it was right near Sea-Tac. Mm-hmm. Apparently they're able to see Sea-Tac from their yard.
Okay. All right. And are they still watching for this stuff?
I would say more so now.
Have they been doing it for a long time?
They've been videoing probably for about 6 years, but they started noticing it earlier than that.
All right. Now, I was looking at your UFO iTeam Facebook page, and somebody had posted that 3 years ago it was 3 to 4 years ago, she saw a formation of things flying over. Did you see that? Have you seen that one yet?
I haven't seen any video of any formations flying over. There was one other video that I placed up. There's a lot more, by the way, but there was one other video that I placed up with just an object in the sky that was sitting in one spot, and it looked like it was shimmering or something, and disappearing and reappearing and moving around slightly.
Right. Now, that's the one I saw, the one that you're talking about, where you're talking about the dark object. I'm going to have to go back and look, because I saw that one that was kind of shimmering in and out.
Okay, so that's the one where you actually see I-5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's different than the one I'm talking about now.
Okay. Well, yeah, because
yes. So there's one with just blue sky backdrop, and that's the one I'm referring to.
Okay. All right. And so how long was where the picture was taken, or pictures were taken? Do you know how long that thing sat there?
No, I don't have a clue. She was telling me that some of the sightings will last like a half hour, so quite a long time.
Wow. And no Air Force response?
None that she's seen.
That is just crazy. And obviously no media response as well.
I think we're the first. Wow. And this is like hot off the press.
Yeah, really. So exclusive here on Encounters USA. All right, so let's talk about your source for this. Are they going to continue to contribute to the UFO iTeam?
It's possible they will. I really haven't thought about. I wanted them to do their own and make their own channel, and that was my message to them. I says, "You've got some absolutely fantastic stuff. You should create your own channel and publish this yourself instead of going through us. If there's, any monetary value that they can get from it, that's what they should do."
Mm-hmm. Okay. And there's, I assume that you're in contact with them enough to know that they haven't been visited by the Men in Black or anybody like that.
They're worried about it. I'll tell you that. Okay. That's the feeling I got from them a couple of days ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that brings up a very interesting point. I mean, in that heavily, densely populated area, how many people are seeing these besides these people? and they're the only ones coming forward, except somebody had posted, of course, on your Facebook, but there has to be more people seeing them.
I imagine there is. They say that they are basically, they get the feeling that they need to go outside and look at a certain time or look in a certain direction. They just say like the hair stands up on the back of their neck and they're like, something's going on and we should check this out or go look or something like that. And that's how they capture this stuff. Now, I will say that's what has happened to me and a couple other of the iTeam members. It's like you get information from somewhere, you just don't know where it's coming from, but it's like, it makes you just get up out of your seat and want to go check something out and you're just like, this is crazy, but it still happens.
Right. Well, then that brings up the question, is this phenomenon appearing to them and nobody else? It's really weird. And, as being as you well know, you always see those planes coming in, and if they come in at the right angle, it really just looks like a ball of light, right? So you always sit there and going, oh, is that a UFO? And then, you see it, doing the usual plane thing. And
right.
So that goes away. So that would be incredibly, I guess, unnerving. Is the UFO iTeam going to do anything as far as maybe conducting your own kind of investigation of this?
Yes, we have an investigation planned. It's very soon. I can't tell you where, and I can't tell you when exactly.
Yeah,
I can tell you.
You'd have to kill me
off camera.
Yeah,
and I can tell you off camera in case you just want to show up, but
because you don't want to kill me on camera. That's probably.
I just like to keep that secret for now until after the initial investigation is done. All
right. Yeah. Well, I respect that. I'm sure everybody out there in paranormal land does. So is there any, this is kind of a little bit off the subject, but on the subject of disclosure, you saw that Michael went down to the Storm Area 51 thing. You think we're any closer?
I think a little bit. I mean, every little bit helps. Another drop in the bucket. That's, until the bucket overflows, eventually it will. Mm-hmm. But we're definitely trying to throw as many drops in that bucket as possible, bigger drops and so forth. Yeah.
Has anybody been brave enough to contact the Air Force and ask them what these things in the sky are?
I'm sure lots of people have, even senators and so forth. But,
well, I think that's a good job for Michael. I think
deniability is huge, right? I mean, that's what they're claiming.
Yeah. Well, Lee, I did a thing on the Nimitz encounters, and the question that I brought up for that was having seen that somebody had taken out a patent for a tic-tac object that flew around the same way that thing does. I start to become skeptical, and so the question I have to ask is, based on what you've seen, you think it's ours? You think it's somebody else's?
I would think that it would be somebody else's. Why would we have somebody up there above or around our airports? That doesn't make much sense, unless they're trying to just get the same information out that, whoever's flying these craft are, look, there's something there. I get a feeling like they're saying we don't want to scare the children. So they're doing this little bit by little bit, to get the information out. Mm-hmm. They want to bring us into their club eventually, I guess.
Yeah. Now, if you would like to, if you don't know Lee's background on UFO contacts in the past, go ahead and look at my interview with him. I believe we did that in August at some point. Mm-hmm. But Lee has had a really, really interesting UFO background and actually lived right near the Maury Island UFO incident where that incident happened. So he's got a really interesting background and contact with people that he purports are aliens. And so this stuff kind of really hits home with Lee, and we're not going to go too much into that. If you want to see it, go ahead and look at that video. So Lee, if there is somebody out there that wants to share information with you, how would they do that?
They can just go to the Facebook page, UFO iTeam, and send us a message, and we'll look you up and talk to you and find out what's going on and help you through whatever you need help with, or investigate what you want to have investigated. Like I said, we've got crazy amount of technology, and it's not just cameras and that sort of stuff either. I mean, we've got, Geiger counters and all kinds of different meters and so forth too. So, for detecting, magnetic fields and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that I was going to actually ask you is, are you putting out, do you have a special feelers out? Are you asking people around the Sea-Tac area to kind of keep a lookout and to contact you as well?
Well, we haven't talked to anybody. This is pretty well breaking. We haven't talked to any locals or anybody like that at all. You're the first to catch wind of it.
All right. Well, you heard it here. If you're down in Federal Way or Burien, get out there with those binoculars and that camera and take some photos for us.
Absolutely. And just to go into a little bit more here, Dave, our tech guy, has been filming the night sky with some crazy, what would you call it? Now I'm losing my train of thought.
Is this his projection?
Thermal gear, his thermal cameras.
Oh.
So he'll be out there. He sets his thermal cameras up in his backyard, and once in a while, a plane will come by, and an unknown craft, will be following the plane, commercial aircraft or whatever. So that's pretty interesting, and they seem to be interested in our planes for some reason.
And can he tell the size? Are these just the little ball things, or are these craft?
Sometimes they are ball shaped, but it shows up on his camera a lot of the time like a chevron shape with like five lights, basically, is what it looks like.
Wow. So for a substantial size then.
Yes. Wow. I would say aircraft size, maybe a little bigger.
Okay. So when it comes to that, I have to think ours before I think theirs. From what I've seen so far, what do you think? You think that we might just be trying to test our technology with, that kind of stuff?
We might be, just to see if anybody else's radar is picking up anything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what I said about that Nimitz thing. I just thought they were just trying to test the radar on that. So, all right. Well, Lee, this is a really, it's an amazing site or sighting. And I think we pretty much covered what we want to cover. If you want to contact the UFO iTeam, you can do that at their website, and it's UFO iTeam. How do they send you an email?
Well, email would be at UFOiTeam at gmail.com.
UFOiTeam@gmail.com.
Yep.
Okay. And also you can post something on Facebook at?
At Facebook, it would be UFO iTeam on Facebook.
See how easy that is?
Pretty simple.
and let me guess, YouTube would be UFO iTeam on YouTube.
There you go.
Boy, perfect. It's almost it's like a system almost.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I guess we have that one down.
All right. Well, Lee, this is really amazing. Now, do you expect, if you guys were going to do the research, I guess this is what I have to ask you before I let you go. If you were going to do the research, are they seeing these things regularly enough where you would say, okay, well, we can go down on this night and we'll probably see something?
Our plan is to try find a location where we can see a lot of the sky. So higher hilltops, maybe the top of a parking garage somewhere, that sort of thing is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
And the more of the sky you can see, the better chance that you'll actually capture something. So we're going to give it, maybe 8 hours of good hard, looking at the sky to see if we can capture anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's very difficult because of the light. There's so much light here.
There's a lot of light, but as you can see, we're capturing these things with cell phone cameras.
Yeah.
Cell phone camera. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. During the day, you know what I was thinking? I was just sitting here thinking, oh, well, you should go up Tiger Mountain and do it from there. I think that'd be good for Dave.
Well, we've got some pretty huge telescopic lenses. We could definitely do it from Tiger Mountain. Yeah. No, actually, I think the top of Tiger Mountain is tree covered, isn't it?
I haven't been up there for 20 years. So
I think so. I don't think that you can look out at Sea-Tac from Tiger Mountain. I might be wrong.
You might be right, because you can see up to Everett and you can see south. I don't know. I think you could. Last time I went up there, I think it was fairly bare. I think you could see down to Renton. Anyway, well, it's just a kind of joking, because that's a really strenuous hike, and almost lost a girlfriend over that one. So
we're not going to be lugging our gear up there then.
Yeah. So you might lose Dave over that one. So, well, all right, Lee. Well, it's really been great talking to you. I wish we had been able to get Michael on here to talk a little bit more about disclosure and the stuff that he's up to. But this is really an amazing development. So I'll get this posted. I was going to post this like today, but I think I'm going to wait until tomorrow to do that. So if you have any information about UFO contact or sightings, or you have data that you'd like to share, you can contact Lee and the UFO iTeam at UFO iTeam on Facebook, or you can contact them at ufoiTeam@gmail.com. And if you have any Bigfoot, alien, or dogman encounters you want to share with Encounters USA, go ahead and do that. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button before you leave. And check out the UFO iTeam YouTube channel as well, and subscribe to them. So, Lee, do you have any parting words of wisdom before you leave us this fine evening?
Well, I'm sure I'll think about 20 things as soon as we get off here, which is typical for me. So,
all right. Well, you can post them on your Facebook page, or we can do another podcast later on. And yeah, as things develop, and if we get more information from these people and from the Sea-Tac area, then definitely want to post this, because we do like to look at patterns. And it seems that from what we saw last summer, what we're seeing now, or actually that was last summer, there was a lot of UFO activity in the Western Washington area. So that's what we do, is we keep track of stuff like that. So, all right, Lee, well, thanks again for being on Encounters USA. And for everybody out there, we're getting really close to Halloween. And remember, we're going back into Dogman mode for the next week or so. So while you're out there, especially in these dark winter hours, always watch your back. Thanks for listening to tonight's show. Please remember, if you've had an encounter, we want to hear about it. Go ahead and email us at encountersusa1@gmail.com, or contact us at encountersusa.com, our website, and go to the contact form. All right, everybody. Until next time, be careful out there. And if you're out in the woods, watch your back.